Have you ever wondered when the idea arose that machines could think like humans? What if I told you that more than 70 years ago, scientists asked the question, can machines think? That question kicked off one of the greatest journeys in human history. From giant old computers filled with vacuum tubes to today's clever systems, the story of artificial intelligence is full of bold dreams, wild surprises, and shocking turns. Of course, here's the same expanded version of both sections in clean English. No links included. Ancient ideas and early dreams. Long before any real machines existed, humans imagined creating beings that could move or act on their own. Ancient Greek myths spoke of bronze robots built by gods that could walk and protect. Egyptian and Chinese legends also described artificial servants made by magic or clever invention. In the Middle East during the 12th century, a brilliant Muslim inventor named Al-Jazari built water-powered machines and mechanical figures that could move by themselves. In 9th century Baghdad, a book called The Book of Ingenious Devices described over 100 automatic machines, including fountains, clocks, and moving figures. These early inventions and stories showed that people already dreamed of mechanical intelligence long before electricity existed. Philosophers like Aristotle created rules of reasoning, while mathematicians began shaping the concept of algorithms, step-by-step instructions for solving problems. Together, these ideas formed a new concept, that intelligence might not belong only to living beings, but could actually be designed. It was a wild and almost unbelievable idea for its time, but it planted the seed for what would one day become artificial intelligence. The first computers and theories of machine thinking. By the early 20th century, the world was changing fast. On one side, breakthroughs in mathematics and logic were revealing that reasoning could follow strict rules. On the other side, engineers were inventing the first electronic machines. In 1950, British mathematician Alan Turing wrote a groundbreaking paper titled Computing Machinery and Intelligence. In it, he asked a bold question: can machines think? He proposed what we now call the Turing test. If a person chats with both a machine and a human, but cannot tell which is which, then the machine could be considered intelligent. This shocked many people at the time because it challenged the idea that thought belonged only to humans. Meanwhile, giant early computers like ENIAC and UNIVAC were being built. They could store information, process data, and perform calculations far faster than any human. For the first time, machines weren't just tools. They were systems that could handle information, make decisions, and even simulate reasoning. That realization changed everything and set the stage for the birth of artificial intelligence. The official birth of AI is a field, 1956 in Dartmouth. Then came a pivotal moment. In 1956, a workshop at Dartmouth College in the United States, organized by John McCarthy and others, gave formal birth to the field of artificial intelligence. At that workshop, they declared, "Let us make machines that can learn, reason, solve problems." The term artificial intelligence was coined there. The attendees included researchers who would lead AI for decades: Alan Newell, Herbert Simon, Marvin Minsky, among others. It was shocking to many at the time that humans believed they could build machine minds. Yet this bold step launched a new scientific discipline, with universities, labs, and funding. Early successes and the optimism wave. 1A. I was born as a discipline. Early experiments showed surprising results. Programs could play games like checkers and chess, prove simple theorems, respond to English sentences. These victories created enormous optimism. Researchers predicted that within a decade, machines would match human intelligence. For example, in 1958, researchers predicted a digital computer would become the world chess champion, and this was just after the field began. Such promise inspired huge funding from government and universities. But the real world turned out to be more complex than expected. The limitations revealed and the first AI winter. As work progressed, it became clear that intelligence is far more than rules and logic. Computers struggled with language, vision, common sense reasoning. In the early 1970s and into the 1980s, funding dried up and interest dropped. This period is called the AI winter. The cause: computers were not powerful enough, algorithms were not yet mature, and many problems turned out to be harder than originally thought. Researchers had made bold claims such as, "Machines will do any work a man can do within 20 years. Statements that did not materialize. The shock. A field that promised so much faced a harsh reality check. Expert systems and revival in the 1980s. But the story did not end there. In the 1980s, AI made a comeback through expert systems. Computer programs that used rules from human experts to make decisions in specific domains like medicine or geology. Many companies adopted these systems, and governments renewed funding. It seemed AI had found its niche. Not general thinking machines yet, but machines that could assist human experts. This revival underlined a key lesson. Here, intelligence was narrower, more specific, but useful. The dream of widely thinking machines remained, but progress was steady rather than explosive. Machine learning, big data, and the modern era. Entering the 21st century, things changed dramatically. Computers got much faster, data exploded, new algorithms emerged. Researchers shifted from rigid rule-based systems to machine learning, allowing computers to learn from experience. In 2012, for example, a deep neural network called AlexNet dramatically improved image recognition performance. The shock here: machines were no longer just programmed, they were trained. The emphasis shifted. More data, more compute, more pattern recognition. This change propelled AI into mainstream use. Voice assistants, recommendations, self-driving research, and so on. The field that struggled in the 70s and 80s was now surging again. The dream of machines that truly think, and what it means for us. Even now, the original dream remains. Machines that don't just follow rules, but understand, reason, become intelligent in broad ways. Some researchers call this artificial general intelligence, AGI. The possibility is both exciting and scary. What if machines become as smart as humans? Or even smarter? The birth of AI was about building thinking machines. Today, the question is whether those machines will ever think like us, or even better. It forces us to ask, what is intelligence? What is thought? What is human? The shock here: we are building our own mirror minds, and looking into that mirror might change how we see ourselves. Why the birth of AI matters for everyone. You might think this story only belongs to scientists or engineers, but the birth of artificial intelligence affects every single one of us. The moment humans created machines that could learn, reason, and act was the moment our world began to change forever. It reshaped how we work, how we communicate, how we create, and even how we think. AI isn't just powering computers. It's quietly running through every part of modern life. It decides which videos you watch, which routes your car takes, which medicines are tested first, and even which job applications reach an employer's desk. In hospitals, AI systems help doctors detect cancer earlier and predict heart attacks before they happen. In classrooms, intelligent tutoring programs adapt lessons to each student's pace and style. In industries, robots powered by AI assemble cars, manage warehouses, and even explore dangerous places humans can't safely go. Even art and creativity have changed. Algorithms can now compose music, paint portraits, and write stories. Things we once believed only the human mind could do. That shows how far the original dream has come. Machines no longer just follow instructions. They create, interpret, and inspire. The birth of AI was not just a scientific breakthrough. It was the spark that began a complete transformation of human civilization. Everything from self-driving cars to instant translation apps, from virtual assistants to advanced space exploration, all trace back to that daring question asked decades ago. Can machines think? What we can learn, and what comes next? What lessons can we draw from the origins of AI? First, bold ideas matter. People ask big questions like, can machines think? And that question opened new fields. Second, technology takes time. Early promises were over-optimistic. It took decades to build what we now have. Third, the mix of ideas, hardware, and human ambition drives innovation. Logic, mathematics, computation, neural networks, data, all combined. Fourth, we must consider the ethical, social, and human implications. Machines that learn and act raise questions about jobs, values, responsibility. Finally, the story continues. The birth of AI was just the beginning. The future may hold machines that reason, collaborate, create, and we are part of that story. If you enjoyed learning how artificial intelligence began and why it matters, please hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next video. What part of AI's birth surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.